Okay, 20 years ago, my dad, who was just a part-time hobbyist woodworker, made these things for his 5 kids. They're called a sofa server table. This is one of them. We've got 2 of them here. And that's what he did. And he gave one to each of us 5. Well, we used them for a year or 2. They were great for TV dinners, things like that. Well, and then most of us, all 5 of us, I think, put them in our attic. And all of a sudden, we realized that later, 20 years later, that if you put a mouse pad on them, and then you put a mouse on them, then you can put your laptop on your lap, and you've got this great thing for putting the mouse on it. Well, then you realize, well, while you're doing your laptop, you might want to have a cup of coffee. So you put your cup of coffee on there. And then, of course, after 5 o'clock, you might put a 12-ounce beverage on it or a bottle. Well, then you get a golden retriever running around in the house, and they come over and they knock that over. And so we thought, all right, we like the idea so far, but we want to make a few improvements to it. Sorry, Dad, but we're gonna opt for a few other things on here. Before we leave this, though, we are going to see what he did. What he did was he took and he made at the bottom, that's 3/4 inch oak, and he set it up so that it slides under the couch, and that's why they call them a sofa server. That's a really common way to do it. There's also a diagonal right here that he included, and that gives the strength to the table, because now when you push down on that, it provides that strength. So if we're going to make some modifications to it, we're going to have to deal with some of the design things there. He did the same thing at the bottom. Now that prevents that from going all the way in too. But then the nice thing about these is that you can leave them out freestanding. They're strong enough and they're stable enough that for the most part you can leave them freestanding, so you could set it out there or you could set it next to the couch. So again, great design, and we want to stick with some of these things. The other last thing is that here's where he did his fastening. So this he ran, again, my dad is way up in the woodworker heaven, but at the time, that's what they did. They put the buttons on there. He put some screws in there, probably. Not sure how he did it up here. I'd have to look, whatever. And then they put the buttons on. They're decorative. They look good. So we're going to take and we're going to do a couple of things. One is from the sketch. We're going to break this project down. In fact, here, before I do that, I'm going to go into a couple different versions of this, and then we'll go into what we're going to do.